What up? Big Herc 916. Positivity, motivation. Never settle for average. Got the new merch on the website, bigherc916.com. Pick you up a hat or a tank top or a t-shirt. Also, this video is brought to you by Muscle Up Detail Spray. The only spray I use on my cars. Keep them things looking wet in between washes, and it's good for all exterior parts of the car. Race makes money, man. At the end of the day, race makes money. And that's why you always hear about it in social media. You always hear about it being stirred up by various organizations that need funding, that need some type of money dispersed, justification. And it's a cycle of just separation, man, and trying to keep people at each other's throat, finding ways to justify certain conditions that have nothing to do with race. At the end of the day, most of the people that talk all this shit, man, half of them haven't been anywhere outside their local communities, and they haven't traveled to even see what goes on, not just in America, but in other countries, and gotten a clear perspective of just life in general. So they're stuck in a box, and that box is what they use to come up with these different concepts and ideologies that allow them to justify certain shortcomings or things that have, taken place in their own existence. If it's not the black and white thing, then you see now is the Asian thing. They throw all that in there, and a lot of that is a blowback because of all the backlash from what happened where, tying in who. So they're basically using the media now to create now, stop the Asian hate, which I've never seen this much stuff promoted before, and this much just negativity. And see, the thing is, the more you publicize a lot of this stuff, the more it feeds into just a cesspool. It's like, if you were able to see every single incident of somebody getting pulled over, somebody doing this and that, everybody would be people would be up in arms right now, because they would be like, oh my God, until they found out who these people were and why they reacted the way they acted, or some of these people, why they did what they did. The news, all they do is pick and choose. Some stories are a year old, and they bring them up and they put it in your face, and everybody thinks it happened yesterday. But these are stories that are cherry picked to incite reactions, and people who use this race baiting are expert manipulators and reaction. They specialize in having people react without thinking. And until we take it upon ourselves to stop letting this propaganda control our emotions and the way we conduct ourselves in day-to-day activities, then this narrative is going to continue to seep into other aspects of life and affect us in ways where we feel that somehow there's anger and resentment. To say that there is no racism, man, there's racism everywhere. There's in Africa, man, there's blacks on blacks at racism. There, you go to Chicago, there's black on black racism. They're shooting each other. Africa, they're robbing and killing. Dude, it's people say racism. Yeah, but everybody, to my this white people when they do it to blacks. What is it, black on black? What is it, Asian on Asian? You go to some places, bro, so there's ignorance within ignorance in different areas within each race. But it's not everybody. It's not everybody that's racist. it's not everybody that's a thug. Not everybody is a representation of the whole black race or the whole Asian race or the whole white race. But like I said, the race game, it makes money and people feed into it. I've seen people who've never gotten pulled over, never had a felony, and they're like, yeah, man, racism. Yeah, man, this and that. I'm like, dude, you work for the government. You could have got multiple promotions. You got this and that. And people, oh man, because I was black. No, you didn't socialize. You didn't hang out. You didn't do this. There's the other guy, he made it. Oh, he's a sellout. God damn it. He's a sellout. It's like people want stuff, but it's like they don't know how to play the game. And I used to get frustrated because I didn't know how to play the game. And the game doesn't mean that you gotta, goddamn act like some goddamn, shuck and jiver, dancing, and doing a little babaloo. No, it just means that if you want to advance in certain elements as far as business or certain, it's connections, man. It's having friendships. Just because you go apply or you do something doesn't mean you're going to get a job. It's like, dude, it's friends. It's like you could say, oh man, they don't hire no black people. But then there's 4 or 5 black people in there, but then you're like, oh, they're all sellouts. Well, maybe, they weren't feeling you, or maybe at the time it's like it's bad timing. I've been places and thought somebody was racist, and then that same person come to find out later on helped me out in another way. And yeah, I've been to other places where they didn't even ask me about my job skills, but they asked me about my family, and it appeared to be a racist comment. But I didn't take that and use it through life, man. The white man is going to continue to use race, and I'm never going to get nowhere. I'm like, oh man, that job's not for me. I'll go somewhere else. It's like, dude, I'm not going to cry in life. I'm not going to cry and get mad because certain people feel a certain way. Because they feel that way, it's on them. They're missing out on the opportunities. If this person is of a different nationality and they're mad because of, they have some kind of way because I'm black, or the way I talk, or the way I walk, or whatever, and then man, that's on them, man. I don't give a damn. I'm not gonna cry and get all mad and go want to burn something down or tear something up. I mean, for what? Dude, it's like, as a child, when you look at a child, he doesn't say, oh, the kid's looking at a black person. The kid's looking at a person. They don't know black and white. That's something that you tell them as an adult. That's something that they learn through this goddamn system that creates this divide. It's just like that critical race theory bullshit. It's like you want to teach your kid that so your kid thinks, once you believe that handicap, that, oh man, because of the way it is, we can never be doctors. We can never be lawyers. Only so many of us can ever be archaeologists or architects. You're black, so you can never drive an F1. You can't do NASCAR. You can't be a skier because you're black. You can't. I'm like, God, I mean, that's the stupidest shit ever, man. Critical race theory, garbage, bullshit. People trying to make you feel like you buy into an inferiority complex. Man, I'm not inferiority to none of you suckers. And I'm not buying into none of it. I would never tell my kids to buy into that bullshit. And if you tell your kids to buy into that shit, you're a sucker, man. Your kid can be whatever the goddamn they want to be, man. And the people that push that shit, they're using it to benefit themselves because they want you to buy into it so they can exercise whatever control and mind manipulation they have in store for their narrative. Critical race theory, that's some goddamn sucker shit, man. It's like, man, the race game, they've been playing it long enough, and if you go and talk to there's enough successful people of various minorities. If you talk to them, you'll hear otherwise, that this shit is some punk ass shit. And if you want to go out here and get it, you can get it, man. But yeah, man, it's like game exposed, man. Game exposed. You can be whatever you want to be in life. Surround yourself around success, elevate your conversations, and you ain't got to buy into the bullshit, the hype, which they want to sell you on. That's their game, is getting you to believe that shit. If you believe it, then they don't even have to worry about you moving up the street or getting into certain job fields or whatever, because you believe it. And I've seen old dudes that's done just because they tapped out and didn't really want to exercise their potential. They're trying to use that shit. And it's like, dude, you've been around for 60 years. You have no excuse, nigga. You chose to chase ass for 40 years. Now you want to blame the man. Man, come on, bro. Three marriages, 4 marriages, 5 kids, and you talking about, man, come on, bro. Say that shit. But yeah, man, let's move past all this bullshit. Go out here and get this paper, man. And if you if you feeling me, I know a lot of you guys, I hear you guys from down south out here getting that paper, back east, people up north on the west coast, man, get that paper, man. And it's all about networking. I ain't looking at anybody because of their race, whether or not I can get that money with them or I can elevate myself and grow my business with them. I'm looking at, if you are in the same mindset and we can see through the bullshit, let's go get it, man. Because these old cats that think they running shit, man, they like old dinosaurs, bro. It's time for a change, man. Big Herc 916.
Hello, I'm Big Herc 916. Contact me for life coaching and motivational speaking.
Lockdown's over. Get your yard time in. Exclusively at FreshOutSeries.com.